Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 31st. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. Aquarius, as always. And we're just going to take a look at what is... We'll take both of these, why not? And really good cards, so I'm happy to see that. But we are going to take a look and see what comes up for you this week. Of course, make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what is going on for you this week. I have a pinned comment at the top of this video that tells you all about how to find your sun, moon, and rising if you're wondering, and all that other good stuff. So make sure to check that out. But Aquarius, let's see. This looks like a really good week for you. You have this blessings card here. I'm getting the word pocket is popping into my head as well. I keep getting the word pocket whenever I have like a word that repeats. Usually what I try to do is I try to clear it just to make sure it's just not me, picking up interference or something like that. But it keeps popping into my head. So I'm kind of getting a couple meanings. Number one, I feel like that means something to some of you. If you've lost something or if you're looking for something, I feel like it could be in a pocket somewhere, or you're about to find something in a pocket. For others, I feel like you're about to get into a pocket, meaning like I feel like you're about to jump into a period of time where there are it's like a pocket of blessings, if that makes sense. So it's almost like I wouldn't really call this a break because just looking around here, there's too much activity in this reading for me to say that this would represent, you getting a break or something like that. And kind of like everything is pointing me towards you getting a leg up, really. You have the leg up card right here. You have the world and the camel here as well. The camel spirit is about being resourceful, but, it can also represent your resources increasing. So there's like some sort of increase coming. It's like you're about to get into a pocket of wealth or whatever. And again, that doesn't mean just money. It could mean anything. It could mean any type of abundance, I feel, is coming in for you. You have the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. The only warning I have here is that I do feel you need to stop hesitating. It's almost like you have a choice. I love reading diagonals in tarot, meaning this is a diagonal, this is a diagonal. And sometimes, to me, the diagonals can represent a choice that you have. And the reason I say this is because you have the Lovers here as well. The Lovers is a crossroads. Traditionally, outside of love, traditionally, the Lovers, number one, meant new love coming in for you. Number two, it also didn't represent love at all. It represented a choice or having a choice to make. So I feel for some of you, it's almost like you have a choice to make at this time. And you can choose this right here, which is a new beginning, or you can choose to delay. You have because you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Three of Wands. This right here is, as I always say, waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment for you to do something. This direction here is you picking a new path in your life and finding success. So again, you have the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I get that feeling where it's like, this to me is saying you have everything you need in your life to move forward. It's almost like saying you have the resources that are necessary for your future success. Seven of Pentacles, though, is kind of like weighing your options. He's looking at those Seven Pentacles and he's like saying, but am I really ready? Am I really ready for something new? Am I really ready to go on a new adventure, to have something greater in my life? There's a lot of questions that come up with this card. So I feel for some of you, it's like kind of time for you to get started with this energy, even if you feel like you're not ready to do something. For some of you, I feel very clearly that this is a project or a business. For others, I feel that this could be you, again, moving on to kind of like a new relationship or something new that you have never experienced before. So I really like to see this. I really like the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles here. The Magician, he has an infinity symbol above his head, and it kind of represents a few things, but it can represent, kind of give and take. Like what you put out is what you get back. And so I do feel you're going to be experiencing like a very straightforward exchange of energy in your life at this time, in all areas of your life. Let's see. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. One foot in front of the other. Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, a lot of happiness coming in for you. And the Chariot, made sure it is time to get moving here, Aquarius, is what this reading is saying. So it is definitely time for you to start charging forward towards what you know is yours. It is time for you to start moving towards whatever this lover's choice is. So for a lot of you, I feel like it is time for you to get going. Some of you could be moving here, by the way, because you have the World, Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot. it's like you have a lot of these cards that could represent moving, traveling, things like that. I'm getting like freedom as well. So some of you could be moving to a location where you're more free, but that to me could represent like a lot of different things. You could be moving somewhere where there's maybe you are literally more free laws-wise, as far as laws are concerned. For others, I feel like it's more freedom in the sense that like maybe where you live right now is really loud, and maybe you're moving somewhere that isn't very loud. So it's kind of like that type of freedom, if that makes sense here, Aquarius. I do also feel that this could be new love coming in for you. It's someone who wants to move slowly. Someone who wants to take their time, but I feel like this would be a victory. Next, you have the leg up card here. So it's like the universe is lifting you up at this time, I feel. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Two of Wands here. I really feel like you need to like start putting in the work into something, especially if you've been hesitating. If you're wondering like, what am I supposed to work on? I would say if there's something that you've been hesitating to do, I feel like that is the thing that you need to do. It's almost like maybe there's like some sort of fear. Maybe you wouldn't even call it a fear either. Maybe you're not sure if it is a fear or not, but it's like there's some sort of hesitation in you, kind of like starting something new. It could be like a business project or a job or something like that. I think the hesitation is just never having experienced it before, especially with that Two of Pentacles. But the Two of Pentacles is a card of hard work. Fool says take the leap of faith. Two of Wands says it's time to move on, right? It's time to grab onto that front wand, and it's time to make some progress. This is definitely one of those readings where there's like a lot of progress here. I feel like you're making a lot of progress in your life. And so, I would definitely get moving with this energy for sure. I do feel for some of you that I feel like you're not willing to compromise, but this is like this is with yourself. I don't think this is a bad thing, is what I would say to you, Aquarius. The Two of Pentacles here can represent a compromise or needing to come to an agreement. It can represent that with another person. But I really feel like this is with yourself. It's like there's certain things that you desire to have in your life, and I feel like you're just no longer willing to compromise on, just like not having certain things. This is kind of like saying to me that you're raising your standards, but you're like raising your standards of living, if that makes sense. You have the Queen of Cups here. Queen of Cups is keeping your eye on the prize. I always say she is holding on very tightly onto that cup there. It almost looks like a trophy. So for some of you, I feel like it's saying, keep your eye on the prize. You have the Justice card here, equal give and take for you, Aquarius, and the Knight of Wands here as well. Knight of Wands is like, this whole thing is like going on an adventure. Knight of Wands is chasing after your desires. So I feel that you have things that you desire, or you see something as something that you would desire, and it's like you're moving really towards your dream life, is what this is saying. Your readings have been very similar recently. I would say for like the past few months, they've all been talking about moving towards your dream life. Again, that doesn't mean you're just going to get it overnight. I think people think like all of a sudden it's like you're going to not have it and then have it, but this is something that you're working towards. So it's like you're going to have to build up to this, obviously, but if you keep putting in the work, Aquarius, then that's what will happen, basically. So I would put in the work. There is definitely something about like equal give and take here. I was very focused on the infinity symbol above the Magician's head. The Justice card is cause and effect, and it can represent, basically where we put our energy and what we get back. So if you're putting energy into things that return energy to you, then keep going. I feel like that's all that matters. I think people get too caught up in the things like, I think people do things that they don't want to do, like work-wise, and it drains them of energy. But there might be something else that you truly want to do where when you work on it, fills you with energy and life and vitality, but maybe it doesn't pay as well or whatever. But I feel like there's like a switch going on in the universe where it's like if we don't do those things that fill us up, then we are going to see less money coming in from something that maybe seems like it's going to make us more money, like a job or a career or whatever. Maybe the money might go out somewhere else in our lives. It's kind of like the universe is trying to push us more towards desires. I wouldn't necessarily say passions. I go both ways on the whole, creating a business based off, a passion thing. I think that it can work for some people, but for some people it doesn't, right? So, but I feel that, the Justice card is like, where can you get the biggest bang for your buck, right? And that's what I feel like you need to focus on. You have the World and the Camel coming up in this last row here, Aquarius. This is about like resourcefulness. So I feel like you are becoming very resourceful. It's almost like I feel like you've been through the desert. You know, it's like you've been through a period of time where you haven't had resources, where you've been waiting for these blessings. It's almost like you're, coming to your oasis, right, in the desert. I feel like you're about to get your abundance because the world is an achievement. So this to me is kind of like some sort of achievement you've been waiting for. You have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the the Lovers as well. Three of Wands is like hesitating. It's like waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment for you to do something. The Queen of Swords, I feel, is you. I feel like it's you knowing what you need to do at this time. It's almost like you know what you need to do to increase your abundance. I feel like you know what you need to do to live a better life, right? I keep wanting to say Two of Cups. The Lovers says you just need to pick the path. The Lovers is a card of being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. So I feel like you just need to pick the new path. You just need to make the new choice with the Lovers, and that will lead to everything that you want. Let's see where this is going here, Aquarius. In this last row, Six of Wands, major success, a victory here. I would say for those of you working on any projects, businesses, anything like that, I would get moving. I feel like a major hesitation energy for whatever reason. You don't really have any hesitating energy other than the Three of Wands, which can represent waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. But it's like you are almost guaranteed victory. I feel like, a lot of people say, like, I shouldn't start a business during retrograde or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but number one, maybe. And number two, what I would say there is what I think people need to realize about retrogrades is like, if you've been preparing before the retrograde to start something, it doesn't matter. It's like you already started before the retrograde. So, it's like I wouldn't worry. Maybe that's what the hesitation I'm picking up here is the retrograde. But it's like if you've been preparing, if you've been researching, studying, whatever, something that you want to start, it's perfectly fine to start it during the retrograde if you've already been preparing, right? If you've already been doing the work. On top of that, I've told stories a million times where it's like I've started things during the retrograde and sometimes they last, sometimes they don't. But, I talk about how like years ago, I desperately needed money. And I started like this little business during the retrograde, and it paid for my car, my bills, and everything during the retrograde. Did it last after the retrograde? For a few months, but then it ended up not lasting past that period of time. But if I didn't do it at the time, I could have lost my car. I could have lost like a lot of stuff because I couldn't pay my bills, right? So, I always tell people it's like, yeah, maybe something doesn't last, but maybe something saves the day that you start during a retrograde. You never know. So don't be afraid to start something here. But, truly, I get the feeling that for most of you, maybe you have already been preparing to start something, so it's not like you're starting something during the retrograde. You have the Five of Swords with the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is saying don't give up. Too many what-ifs on the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is like trying to win without having to go through the battle or trying to win at all costs, right? So I feel for some of you, but I really feel it's more saying don't give up on something that you're trying to accomplish. And you have the King of Swords here as well. Some of you definitely could be kind of like thinking about a past relationship here. But it only shows up right here. It doesn't show up anywhere else. Like, for the most part, I feel like you're moving towards new love. To me, what this would say is that there could be someone who you feel has control over you, Aquarius, and this could be something that's coming up during the retrograde, right? You could be feeling like someone has has you under their thumb with this King of Swords energy, but I feel like they really don't. It's like you're giving them power when they shouldn't. Some of you, I feel, could be dealing with a person you have children with, and maybe that's where you feel like they, have you under their thumb. But I feel like you need to realize that you're the one with the power here in this situation. So that's what I'd say there. I do want to get like a little bit more details on this right here. So I'm not going to ask a question. We're just going to see what comes up, Aquarius. Six of Wands again. So major success coming in for you. Nine of Cups, a wish for sure. And the Ace of Pentacles. Are you kidding me, Aquarius? This is an amazing reading. I feel like this is like, I feel like someone has like a big chunk of gold on the other side of a door, and they're like, I have a big chunk of gold on the other side of this door, and I feel like they've even opened the door a little bit, and they've shown you, like, look at this chunk of gold, right? But it's like, all you have to do is cross the threshold, is what this reading is saying to me. All you have to do is step forward and accept it into your life, but it's almost like you're hesitating for some reason here. I do feel like it's like this in-between time, you know, where, and I'm talking about like you're over here, there's like all this space in the middle, and like this is, you know, all the good stuff, but it's like maybe, you know, maybe you have a good idea for a business, but it's going to require you to have to like stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning working on it for a couple of months or something like that. You know, I feel like that's the in-between time, but like on the other side of that is a big chunk of gold. So I feel like you need to not hesitate. This is definitely a lot of success coming in for you here, Aquarius. Yep, there it is. Seven of Swords with that Five of Swords. Like I was saying, Seven of Swords is trying to protect yourself because Seven of Swords is lying, cheating, stealing. But, you know, outside of love, it can represent taking things too seriously, and it can also represent trying to, you know, trying to make things perfect. Again, he's trying to steal these 7 swords on this card, but he can only get 5. He can't get all 7. You know, the card kind of says you can't protect yourself from everything that could potentially happen to you in your life. So it's like you can never make something perfect. Yeah, you have the Queen of Swords again here. You're going to be happy, is what this is saying. And you have the Six of Cups. A lot of happiness coming in for you. It's like a gift from the universe, plain and simple. I feel that there is some sort of gift coming in for you here, Aquarius, and it's probably just being able to move forward, being able to find success. So I love this. I feel like there are just major blessings coming in for you at this time. So thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time, Aquarius. But thank you, and definitely enjoy the rest of your week.